Welcome back to another exciting episode of the Bacon and Eggs podcast. My name is... what?
Whoa. Hi,
Wow.
I forgot about names.
My name is Tyler Carlin.
And I'm Ethan Edgehill.
And we are your hosts. And we love your faces. And we're both still sick. So deal with it.
We are?
At least I am.
I'm
I
not.
don't know about you.
I'm feeling A+, baby. We're here 3:30 p.m. on New Year's Day, 2018.
Yeah, and you know what that is? That's 10,267 days since November 22nd, 1989. And you know what happened in 1989?
I know what happened. Back to the Future Part 2 was released.
Came out. Yeah, it was released. And it was released on a budget of $40 million. And it made $332 million. So we're looking at a boom, boom.
Yeah, that did really, really well in the box office. But it did not do so well in the hearts of critics. Not nearly as well as the last one, at least.
Yeah, they got a 63% critic score, Rotten Tomatoes, 85% audience. The audience loves them some Back to the Future Part 2.
Oh, yeah.
And a 57 Metacritic score. And if this is your first time listening to Bacon and Eggs, my name's Tyler, that's Ethan, and we review movies and we chit-chat, and this is our little thing that we love to do. If you'd like to hang out with us, you can leave a review or you can join our Facebook group. There's a link in the description. It's a good time.
It is a good time. Real quick, before we dive into this, I just want to give a shout out to some of our fans and listeners. Those 5 or 6 people who have sent me pictures of trains in the last week or so and asked me to identify them. That is my favorite thing that has ever happened.
You are the train salesman.
And the problem with some of this is that a lot of these like Christmas train brand Christmas trains, just simply like could not exist.
Why?
Because like they're like you got 2 wheels on either side, like, and they're like, what kind of train is this? I'm like, I have no earthly clue. It has no markings on it, nothing, and it doesn't have enough wheels.
It doesn't have enough. How many wheels do trains have? 6?
A bunch.
A bunch?
Yeah.
I don't know.
But like a lot of these Christmas trains have like I said, like 2 on either side, like a car.
Like train cars.
No, but like the front part,
right?
The locomotive, which everyone refers to as the train,
right? I'm so surprised. Anyway, people need to. Ethan is my great train identifier.
Yeah, so keep sending me pictures of trains. I'll identify the ones.
You know, Ethan, what I do in my free time?
What do you do?
Sometimes I'll go down to the tracks and I'll just take pictures of the trains going by.
Yeah,
and then I'll look back at the pictures to see the graffiti.
Do you go tagging?
I go tagging. And then, like, sometimes if there's no trains and I'm with a group of friends, I'll go to the laser tag play.
Only when the mall's closed.
Right.
We are referring to an incident, not an incident. Incident's a strong word, but an occurrence from our collective past in which we visited a Mellow Mushroom restaurant in Auburn, Alabama,
and that was
which is a college town,
and
asked the waitress, hey, what do people do in this town? She goes, well, the mall's closed.
We were like, and this is at a bachelor party, so we're trying to go to like the bar. If people are curious, it's called Sky Bar. Is the bar in Auburn, and I wouldn't recommend it, but.
Oh, this waitress was just so clueless. So she was like, yeah, in my spare time, I like to go take pictures of the graffiti on the trains. I can't even say the sentence.
And like that's a great hobby. Like,
that's awesome, but like not what 20-year-old guy or 22-year-old guys are looking for. Right.
We sat down and we ordered drinks at Mellow Mushroom, and anyway, it was a good time. But Back to the Future Part Ducks.
Ducks.
2.
French for 2.
Ethan, I don't get it.
What do you mean?
Exactly. I'm glad you asked.
Okay.
I get it in like they go back in time, they go forward in time, there's a split in time. I get the movie.
Okay.
I'm not confused about how that works.
Okay. And there's a car that it travels in time.
Right. I get that.
Okay. I'm just making sure you understand the premise.
Yeah. And I think it was, as far as continuity goes, everything pretty well made sense. I don't get why people love this movie. It's not that good.
I took a hard stance on this movie last week and said it would be better than the first one.
It is not.
It is not. I have not watched this movie probably since I was like 7.
Oh my gosh.
Or 8.
One of my biggest complaints about the first one is that Biff was in it too much.
Oh, this movie's about Biff.
Movie's all about Biff.
But yeah, no, it doesn't.
My gosh.
So would you compare yourself to Ben Wyatt?
Yeah, I would say it's like when Ben Wyatt in Parks and Rec sees little Sebastian and everybody's like, oh my God, it's little Sebastian. And he's like, I don't get it.
It's a tiny horse.
It's just a little pony is what he keeps referring to it.
Man,
I don't get it.
I don't either. It's a decent movie, but it's definitely not by any means the cinematic masterpiece I claimed it to be last week.
And here's the thing is like Back to the Future 1, like I don't know how we credit it as a breakfast food, but it's like a light flaky croissant, right? You can watch it.
Pretty sure we said it was like apple pie and cigarettes. No, it was hot black coffee and apple pie from a diner.
That's what we said. But it's so easy. It's easy to watch. It's enjoyable. There's a couple of stressful moments just because of the way that like they talk to women in the 80s and 50s.
Yeah.
But outside of that, like it's flaky, it's light, and it's well thought out. And it's good.
So
this movie hurts.
Yeah.
It's long and confusing and a lot like the first half of the movie literally just replays the first movie but 30 years in the future instead of 30 years in the past. Even Biff is like, haven't I seen this before?
Hasn't this happened before?
Yes, it has.
But no, what I disliked about this movie, and I hate it whenever this happens in movies, is like there's the whole 30-minute scene toward the end where Marty's trying to get the book back from Biff, and he just can't do it. And it's like they're putting him in these unnecessary situations just to like extend the plot.
Yeah, it was just like...
And those parts in movies make me so physically uncomfortable for some reason. I have no idea. Just like, it's my least favorite movie trope. And I'm just like, just take the book and leave.
Yeah, that was extremely frustrating. I did love his outfit he picked out, though.
With the fedora and the leather jacket.
Yeah, when Doc was like, fit in.
Yeah, be discreet.
Like, right. I will say, I like that there's a lot more Doc in this movie.
Yeah.
But they really pressed the, like, having the past and future selves of somebody on screen at the same time.
Yeah, I was noting the whole time that this movie had to be an absolute fucking nightmare to film.
Yeah. Because they had these, like, conversations between these two things. And, like, this was, I guess, 1989. It might not have been, like, that hard to have the same person on screen twice.
No,
but
it was still hard. Like, even when they made The Parent Trap, like the new one, it was still hard.
That was, like, 1999.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. Like, 10 years later.
Yeah.
Also, sidebar. Apparently that was two Lohans.
What?
There's a strong conspiracy theory going around that Lindsay Lohan had an identical twin sister.
I don't think so.
That died.
I don't think so.
I'm just saying.
I'm not gonna lie to you. When you said that, though, I got chills, and I was kind of like,
There's two Lohan, because her parents are notorious whack jobs, and
she's a whack job.
She's a whack job, and so there's like a theory that like Disney paid them all sorts of money to cover it up. That like something happened during filming that she died.
Weird.
Yeah, because that was like her first movie. Her there.
Was it really?
Yeah, like big deal movie.
What's your favorite Lindsay Lohan movie? Top of your head. Ready, go.
The Parent Trap.
Yeah, easy.
What is it? Herbie Fully Loaded?
Herbie Fully Loaded? I thought for sure that's what you were going to say.
No, that movie's trash, bro.
Total garbage.
No, like, I think those are probably the only two Lindsay Lohan movies other than Mean Girls I could tell you off the top. It's probably
Mean Girls.
Probably Mean Girls.
Mean Girls, my favorite. Yeah.
No, probably Mean Girls. Forgot about that one.
Back to the Future, though.
Yeah. So yeah, but it had to be an absolute nightmare to film all these scenes. There's no way this was like, because they had to reshoot the entire first movie.
They did, but in 2015.
No, they had to reshoot the entire first movie like in 1955.
Oh yeah, because they went back. That was the other thing, is this movie is called Back to the Future.
Yeah.
We spend like 20 minutes in 2015.
Yeah.
And the rest of it is in 1955.
Well, none of the first one took place in the future.
I know, but they're going back to
the future.
The present.
Yeah, which is the future.
Right.
There is no such thing as the present.
I guess so. But Biff is like a terrible person.
Yeah. He's a horrendous human being in all forms. Old Biff, middle Biff, young Biff, Griff. Terrible person. Where does he fall in our villain ranking?
Low.
Better or worse than the Mandarin?
Worse. Or better. Or lower on the scale. Another cheap... This is the thing. Is like last week you were like, oh, I'm so excited because, Zemeckis and Spielberg were like, as long as we're alive, this movie will never get remade. It wasn't them. It was the writer.
Yeah.
Who said that, but whatever.
I remember that now. It's Bob Gale.
And then Back to the Future Part 2 is just a remake of Back to the Future Part 1.
I mean, pretty much. And I get where they're going with that. The, like, congruent scenes, like, history repeats itself.
And it was cool
that
they did the thing.
Yeah.
it was really cool that they were able to like recreate the whole first movie and then like interact with it and stuff like that. Like I don't want to discredit that, but I will say that it didn't end up being the most entertaining thing I've ever seen.
No, yeah, there were better movies out there, and we're not going to spend the next 2 hours just like totally crapping on this movie. Like that would be a waste of time.
No, is it better than? No, it would be a waste of time.
We're not ranking it yet.
Yeah. So I guess what I wanted to get out of the way up front was that it is not what I expected.
This movie was a letdown.
Yeah. And I feel bad saying that. But you out there who are like, listen, you're a criminal for saying that part 2 is not. You need to take off your rose-colored glasses and enjoy
just go watch it again, really.
Flaky croissant that is Back to the Future Part 1.
Yeah, just go watch it again. You'll realize that, because you probably haven't seen it since you were 7 either.
Right.
You person who was me last week.
Right.
But I'm woke now.
Better than the Polar Express.
It's going to be hard to be worse than the Polar Express. I think Phantom Menace is probably better than the Polar Express.
Might be.
I certainly enjoy it more.
I mean, if it's not a Star Wars film, it's not terrible.
What? Oh, the Phantom Menace?
Like yeah.
Oh, that's a different conversation for a different day. We can get it. That'll be a whole episode.
I mean, the acting is...
Hey, Alexa, shut the up.
Thank you. Do you want to just dive into like a breakdown? What do you want to do here?
Yeah, but we can do a breakdown. Kind of unpack some scenes, pull some stuff together, make sure everybody's up to date on their references and Easter eggs.
I'm sure there's a bajillion Easter eggs in this movie.
Yeah, and I probably missed
all of them.
Yeah, now what is one level under a bajillion?
I don't think a bajillion's a real number, is it?
Okay, well, assuming a bajillion's a real number, what would be one level under a bajillion?
I don't know. Let's say that, like, I caught like one undecillion.
You caught what?
Easter eggs.
You caught a one undecillion Easter eggs?
Yeah.
That's a lot.
No, I caught like 6.
Yeah.
But like,
so we get it. First of all, we get a different actress for Jennifer.
We did?
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
A completely different person. So the original actress, whose name I can't remember because I don't have IMDb open for me because I'm bad at my job. Her mom got cancer, and so she was like helping out with all that. And instead, they got a different actress to come and play Jennifer for the next 2 movies. So that was it for the first, because they had to reshoot the whole first scene and get like shot for shot with a different person.
That's just so frustrating.
Yeah, like the first scene that was the last scene of the last movie. You know what I'm talking about? When Marty gets the truck and Doc flies up and
I'm familiar with the ending. And you were right. There was plenty of road for them to get up to 88 miles an hour.
Right? That's what I'm saying. But I mean, I get it. Like they have to have where we're going. We don't need roads.
That's true.
Holy shit! Michael J. Fox played his daughter too.
Yeah,
Katie was right. It didn't look like him at first. That's weird.
I didn't catch it.
That's weird. She caught it. We watched it together just now. She caught it. There's also a different George.
Now it's Jeffrey Weissman.
Jeffrey Weissman instead of Crispin Glover. So
Crispin Glover was apparently very upset that his likeness was used in this film.
Yeah, I could see that. Apparently he quit because they didn't give enough money to be George McFly, who is an irrelevant character
in this movie. Yeah, he's not in it very much.
Yeah, because this movie is about Biff,
who is my least favorite character.
Yeah, mine too. I hate him.
He is, I will say, like, maybe... Are people like Biff? In high school, did you know a bully like Biff?
No. But I know people that have. We went to a very nice high school.
I mean, I was bullied in high school, but not by people like Biff.
Yeah, no, but like we went to a comparatively like a very, like nobody was just like raping people in the cafeteria.
Yeah. Biff was weird, dude.
Yeah, he was just a sincere asshole, like a horrible person. And that's the thing is, like, normally I can identify a little bit with the villain. I'm like, hey, I understand your motives and everything. No, Biff is just a douche.
It's true. He has like no motivation whatsoever. He the only thing he does, I think, that makes any sense is with the gambling to make money, right?
Right.
But then he doesn't love Lorraine.
No, but he marries her anyway.
Right, just to like get back at George McFly.
Yeah, because he's so burnt up about the existence of George McFly.
He's like, McFly, I thought I told you never to come here again. And so they go in the future, 2015, and they go to the 80s cafe.
Right.
Which is stupid.
Right.
Why not go to the 2015 cafe?
What do you mean?
Well, like you're doing this whole thing to show how the future's different and stuff, and then you just went to an 80s cafe.
Well, I think that's the point is that they're trying to show that like the future's not better. It's like
I don't know, the future.
1985 was like a shining time for them because of everything that's going on with Doc and Marty.
But the future has hoverboards.
Yeah. So I mean, okay, we're about to in like 2 months talk about Ready Player One. Are you really gonna shit on like, oh, I love the 80s being a theme?
No, I do love the 80s.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, people like the 80s, and that's very accurate to 2015, is people are, like, obsessed with the 80s.
It's true. Not probably as much as they are at this minute, but they were, like, 80s stock was going up, was Bitcoining back in 2015.
Right. And honestly, I mean, they didn't get 2015 all that wrong.
Those Nikes look exactly like...
That's what I'm saying, is like, maybe they're not self-lacing, but the really tall shoes, we definitely got that.
Yeah, we definitely are all about that.
His
jacket, I don't know that people would buy a jacket with that much. Well, people love buying jackets with technology in them. Like, there are jackets that, like, charge your phone and stuff. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I'm saying. And then that hat, totally believable.
No, people wouldn't wear that hat.
Yeah, they would.
I mean, they would wear it because it's in Back to the Future.
No,
but, like,
they would wear that hat. I know plenty of people would wear that hat.
And then skateboarding technology has significantly changed since 1985.
Yeah, it doesn't hover, but they are powered.
Well, his was not powered in the movie.
Right, but it doesn't hover. Like, there aren't actual hoverboards.
Right, but like his was like the opposite of what they actually do. Like, his floated but had no power.
Right.
And the real ones have power but don't float.
Right. And we have a thing called hoverboards.
We do.
Which are stupid.
We do. They are.
And they are banned on college campuses, which is hilarious.
I can't imagine a world where I would need one. That being said, Derek has a one wheel.
Yeah.
You know Derek.
Yeah, I do.
He one wheels to work from his apartment.
Yeah.
Which is cool.
That just seems terrifying.
Why?
I just feel so exposed.
I mean, it's on the greenway. It's on like a park path.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. I'm just like, I was never comfortable, like one of those guys that was comfortable, like skating down like sidewalks next to like an actual road.
Oh, with like cars and stuff? Yeah, very scary.
Like, I'm gonna die. 100%
Yeah, cars are very
100% death. But I didn't die. I am still here in 2018. It's gonna take me months.
I'm looking at this right now. Did you know that the video waiter for Michael Jackson
wasn't Michael Jackson? Yeah.
It was E. Casanova Evans.
Who I guess is a Michael Jackson impersonator.
Yeah. Looks like that's all he does.
Yeah. I would imagine. He's been Michael Jackson in a lot of things. Well, several things. More than me. He has been Michael Jackson in more things than I have.
I've never played Michael Jackson.
Me either. But yeah, so the whole first scene is a reshoot of the whole last scene of the last movie with a new actress playing Jennifer. Like, it's the exact same. Doc drives over the freaking trash cans the exact same way.
Unloads the same stuff into the...
Right, which I would imagine they just reused those scenes. Like, I doubt they reshot those particular cuts.
Right, yeah, I don't know about all that.
They probably just recut it.
Right.
But yeah, so, and that just, I would be so frustrated if I was the director and be like, really? We gotta go reshoot this? Why are we doing this? This is a pointless scene.
Yeah, that was it could have literally just started with him saying, "Where we're going, we don't need roads."
Right, exactly. And them taking off and just but and this is where the whole thing kind of starts to get the crux in there, is that Biff sees the DeLorean fly away.
Yep.
And
Biff's auto detailing business.
Right. And so that's a problem, because now he knows about the flying DeLorean and he knows to look for it in the future, in October 21st, 2015.
What a weird day. That's like towards the end of the year.
That's Chris's birthday.
It is Chris's birthday.
That was Chris's 22nd birthday. No,
Yep.
23rd.
23rd.
23rd birthday.
Yeah, 92.
Yep. I guess we probably just gave away a little bit too much information about Chris, but that's okay.
He'll be all right.
Yeah, so they travel to October 21st, 2015, and the main difference between this 2015 and our 2015 is that they have flying cars.
And the Cubs won in their 2015.
Right, which they won in our 2016.
In November.
What?
Cubs won the series November 2nd.
They did?
Yep.
It went that long? Oh, weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, yeah, flying cars. They have flying cars. We do not have flying cars. I don't really want flying cars, to tell you the truth.
No, me neither.
I've never seen how that would be particularly more useful.
Well, if you crash, you get to fall to Earth.
Okay.
So that's bad.
Right. I just said more useful, and you pointed out how they're worse.
Right.
But, like,
I guess
if they still, like, because they still seem to only go, just
on, like,
60
air roads.
miles an hour on air roads.
Right. Like, there's still, like, traffic lights.
Right. And traffic.
Right.
So, like, flying cars, in that case, are pointless and just more dangerous.
I think maybe what makes them a little bit more useful is A to B a little bit better, I guess.
In what way?
Like, I guess you live in like a well-planned city with like straight roads and stuff, but I live in like a curvy road city. We wouldn't have to go down like mountain roads and stuff. You could fly.
Yeah, but they still did an awful lot of turning.
It's true.
Like, because they, I guess, just probably built the air roads over the normal roads.
That's true.
Like, as the air version of the normal roads. And
what I think was interesting was that they didn't posit that in 2015 all cars would be flying. Like, there was still plenty of just like road cars.
No, I'm pretty sure those cars can fly. I just think you can't fly like in the city.
Well, you can go to whoever's converters to get your car to be able to fly.
Oh, gotcha. I missed that.
Yeah, the mayor's son.
Gotcha. Okay, I missed that. But yeah, so not a whole lot is like, I don't know what I was trying to say there. I lost it completely. Doc reveals very early on, so they don't have to keep him in makeup all the time, that he was just wearing old man makeup to not surprise Marty because he made himself younger.
Yes. How did he do that? Is he younger? Is it?
No, I mean,
what?
I guess they just have.
I
think they have rejuvenation technology in the future.
Yeah, that's what he says.
Yeah.
But what? I guess I didn't notice particularly at any point in any of these movies that Doc looked older.
What do you mean?
Or whatever. Like what? Why?
You said that last time too.
What do you mean?
Like you said that about Doc last movie, where you're like, I don't see how he looks any different.
Yeah, I don't.
Well, he does. Go look. He looks different.
Clearly. I guess to me it was just kind of like, okay, old guy with white hair, mad scientist.
Right. Okay.
That's
but so like for the 1985 scenes in Back to the Future 1, Christopher Lloyd was in like makeup, like old man makeup. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And so I guess they didn't want to have him in old man makeup for the entire movie this time, so they just wrote that part out.
Right. They had him take his makeup off.
Right. So they made Doc younger.
Gotcha.
Because he wasn't in old man makeup, obviously, in the movie in Back to the Future 1.
Like the whole movie he was wearing old man makeup?
He was not. I don't see how this is confusing.
I don't know. I guess that, like, to me the makeup didn't make him look that much older.
It did, though. It made him look significantly old, like 30 years older.
30 years?
Yeah.
Is that exactly
exactly what I would say.
Okay.
But no, he literally says, like, they rejuvenated me, they added like a couple decades to my life.
Lucky Doc.
Yeah. So I guess that's the thing that he got from
Do you think
some point in the future.
We're gonna get there.
What do you mean?
Rejuvenation technology. I'm gonna live to 200, Ethan.
I don't think you are.
Okay, game on.
All right, whatever. I believe that a human being who will live to 150 has already been born. I believe that I am that human being.
Chris Traeger.
But yeah, Marty does have those sweet self-lacing Nikes.
Those are slick Nikes.
Yeah, those are cool. I would wear those.
Almost cooler than those is the box they came in.
Yeah, the like tube.
Yeah.
It just said footwear on the side.
Yeah. Oh, it said Nike footwear.
Did it? Oh, okay, I missed that part.
Yeah, like Nike, if you're selling shoes with these cool tubes, I'll probably be more likely to buy Nikes.
Oh, definitely. 100%.
But I guarantee those tubes are a little bit more expensive than a cardboard box.
Probably. Maybe not, though. Maybe cardboard is, a problem.
I mean, like right now.
Oh, yeah, no, but I mean in 2015 of Back to the Future era. Maybe like cardboard's hard to get.
Maybe.
Since they have fusion engines for their cars that run on trash.
That would be the best.
Yeah, no, that'd be awesome. If just gas wasn't a problem anymore.
Yeah, if we
that'd be
could solve.
sick.
And if garbage wasn't a problem anymore.
Right, like just burn garbage for fuel, but like cleanly.
That would be so cool.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Hey, at Elon Musk, if you're listening, get on that, buddy.
Hook us up, buddy.
Yeah, you're the real life Tony Stark. But so Marty's a little bit kind of wigged out by this new 2015 because he's from 1985. He's dealing with the future. That'd be terrifying to anybody.
Yeah, no, he'd be like, I mean, the one thing they probably missed, the biggest, right, is that they have flying cars and we have smartphones. I think that would be probably.
Well, so
like,
Zemeckis was straight up like, I don't want to do future scenes. Like, I don't want them to go to the future because he said that anytime that somebody goes to the future in a movie, they just get it so wrong.
Well, duh.
Obviously, because you're not gonna know what the future's like unless you're Jules Verne.
Did Jules Verne get it right?
Jules Verne wrote like 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea or whatever. And predicted how like nuclear submarines were gonna work in.
Didn't he also get
1860 or some shit?
Same thing with Fahrenheit 451. They have like earbuds.
Yeah, so some stuff is right.
Yeah.
But he said that Stanley Kubrick is the only person who ever even gets it close usually as a director, and he like completely missed computers.
Yeah, I mean, who could have predicted the smartphone?
No one. You couldn't have predicted the smartphone 20 years ago.
You couldn't have predicted the smartphone when the iPhone came out.
Right, like
like there was still reasonable doubt that like, okay, this is just gonna fizzle out.
Right, that like we all still had flip phones and knew one person with an iPhone.
Right.
Like yeah, so it's taken off even the last couple years to the fact that you can now like take incredible pictures on your cell phone.
Yeah.
And so but yeah, Marty's kind of wigged out, but there's still some consistencies. Like there's still a Jaws movie coming out.
There is.
Yeah, because at the theater they're playing Jaws 19.
Right, but I mean, is there real life?
No,
like,
not
is there
real life.
Jaws movie? Oh, okay.
I'm saying there's consistencies to Marty's timeline.
Right.
Jaws 19 comes out and it's playing at the Holomax theater, and
yeah, and then the holographic
shark still looks fake.
Yeah. Thought that was funny.
Yeah.
Jaws,
but he goes to this 80s cafe and runs into Biff Tannen, who is
Griff. Oh no, he runs
into Biff first, and Biff is just like, "Your old man is such a loser. He flushed his life away."
Yeah, we're supposed to believe that like Marty, like a week after the whole thing happened, like gets into a car crash,
that
with,
changes
like,
the whole course of his life.
Yeah, for the worse. Yeah. Although he still marries the girl and
right, but he gives up on his dreams. He gives up on music.
Right,
and then like we see this crash and burn of Marty in the future, and it doesn't come back at all.
What do you mean?
Like they never solve that problem.
Oh, that Marty ends up a total failure.
Right, because like Jennifer knows Well, I guess Marty doesn't really know what happens. Jennifer knows about it. She, like, writes down the date in her head.
Yeah, maybe she's setting it up so that, like, you know.
Yeah, I can't remember if that comes back to fruition in the next movie, honestly. I remember very little about Back to the Future 3, except that it primarily takes place in the 1800s.
The Old West.
Yeah. But, yeah, so we see this crash and burn of Marty that just never gets fixed. Because obviously, I mean, they're going to want to fix that. They're going to want to go back to whenever Marty has that accident and make him not have that accident.
That's the next movie, man. Not obviously part 3, but part 4.
I mean, it might be part 3. I really don't know.
Could be.
I really don't remember. And you've never seen them. So
it's true.
We could be dead on. We could be sitting here next week going, yep, that's exactly what happened.
Yep, they fixed Marty's whole problem.
Yep. But so this is where we get that whole, like, reshoot of the first movie, and that, like, Biff comes in, it's just like, McFly! Or Griff comes in. It's like, McFly,
like, yeah.
You're a butthead.
Yeah, maybe that's how people talked in the 80s. I have a hard time believing it is. I don't know. I feel like he's like a really campy bully.
Yeah. Well, I mean, even old man Biff Tannen is like, your dad's still a butthead. So I think it's just to show that, like, he never grew up.
Right. It's definitely what it's to show. But I guess, like, I just don't like Biff.
No, I mean, you're not going to find redemption for Biff in these scenes. But,
no.
You know, he's beating up Marty Jr. and, like, throwing him over the thing. And Marty Jr. is, like, drunk from the...
Yeah, what?
Well, so Doc knocked him out with the thing that he used to knock Jennifer out.
Yeah, but even before that, Marty Jr. looked drunk. Like, when he's just spilling through town. And...
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
I don't know what's going on with Marty Jr.
No
It looks like he's not
not all put together.
Not a winner. Yeah, not a winner.
But so Marty Senior, I guess it's young Marty, normal Marty. I don't know. This got really confusing. Not confusing to me, but like confusing to write about.
Right.
The real Marty steps in and starts, you know, getting up on Griff, who, like, pulls out a baseball bat and starts beating up the cafe, like, because everybody's just cool with that, apparently.
Yeah, people are, like, okay with this guy just being a terrible person.
Well, nobody works the cafe, it looks like.
Michael Jackson's face does.
Yeah, but they're, like, video waiters. Yeah. And the Pepsi Max comes out of the bar.
They ended up making those Pepsi Maxes, right?
I think
like,
so.
For a brief time in 2015.
Yeah.
Well, that was the whole point, was that, like, Back to the Future, Pepsi didn't go out of business, so why not?
Right, yeah. So I think so. I think they were like a very limited run. And they made the Nike Air Maxes too.
Yeah. Well, why wouldn't they?
But they don't lace. Well, they had some that lace, but they were like very limited and like cost like $2,000.
Yeah. Michael J. Fox got a pair because turns out he has a hard time tying shoes.
Wow.
I mean, it's true.
I mean, it is, but like you went there.
The man shakes. I don't know what you want me to tell you.
But yeah, and then they get outside and it's like a shot-for-shot remake of the first one. And he goes and steals the hover scooter and rips the thing off and makes a hoverboard. And he's hoverboarding on the back of a space jeep. And they even pull it in when Biff having the line. He's like, there's something really familiar about all this.
Yeah, and like I didn't feel like that was necessary. Like, you did a really good job making this cool time travel movie. Why does it have to be the same story?
I don't know. I think you're bothered by this more than you should be.
I'm sure I am. I just feel like
this was actually probably one of my favorite parts of the movies. I thought it was cool. They were redoing this scene.
I felt like it was fan service. Felt like fan service.
Well, I mean, it's a time travel comedy from the 80s.
It's true.
Like, have you seen 80s movies?
I do love.
They're all a little bit campy.
Films. They're very campy.
Yeah. But the hoverboards don't work on water.
Weird.
They hover over water, but you can't push on the water.
Right.
Which
and you can't just like scoot.
Doesn't really make sense, but whatever. I feel like.
What do you mean it doesn't make sense?
I feel like they would stop hovering.
It's a hover, right? But it's a hoverboard. Like, none of it makes sense. It's not possible.
Well, yeah, no, I know it's not possible, but based on the mechanic of the hoverboard, it should either continue to work or sink.
I guess the weird thing for me is that they have to push them.
Why?
Like, I get it; it makes sense, but like, what power is it using to hover? Magnets?
I think so. It's just like repelling itself off the ground.
Weird.
Yeah.
So you have to charge it or no?
I don't think so.
Weird.
I think it probably is just like in tune with the Earth's magnetic field.
I also didn't realize, like, I've seen a lot of merch. I knew what Marty's hoverboard looked like.
Yeah.
I did not realize that he had like a girly one. I thought it was just cool to wear pink.
No. It was never cool in the 80s to wear pink, for guys to wear pink.
Never cool?
I mean, it was like you were still a huge gay.
Wow.
I mean, I don't agree with that, but like that's what they thought about that stuff, according to...
That's so weird. See, but I thought that was like what they were positing was that like in the future.
No, he was still like
cool.
a Mr. Tough Guy that stole the scooter from the girl.
Gotcha.
Yeah, like
that was just something I didn't expect when I watched this.
No, I would agree with that like they're still buying into that stereotype.
Weird.
Yeah, I wear a lot of pink.
I know you do.
I like pink.
I don't. I wear some pink neckties. I got a couple of those.
Yeah, I got one of those. Yeah. It's Lily Pulitzer.
Mine are, I don't know. I got them at Macy's.
Yeah, I have several pink bow ties, mostly vintage.
So he steals it, and then he's doing the hoverboarding over the lake, which is there for some reason, and then
I mean, it's like a
Griff,
town square. It's not that uncommon to have like
right, but it's not there in the past.
Yeah, well, whatever.
Things change.
Yeah.
And Griff and friends bust through the like paper thin glass of the town center.
Yeah, because Griff had a powered hoverboard,
Yep.
a pit bull, and the little girl just steals it.
Yeah, she's like straight up.
Marty's like, here, have your hoverboard back. She's like, no, keep it. I've got a pit bull.
That's right.
And his clothes are self-drying, which is technology I want.
How often are your clothes wet?
Like when it rains.
Or when they get out of the washer, so you could just press dry.
That would be sick too. But like, if I get sweaty.
Oh,
what?
I don't really get sweaty.
Okay, congratulations.
It's like a weird thing.
Yeah. Just saying, there are plenty of situations where I'd love to have a shirt that could just like, shoop.
Self-drying.
Yeah.
I didn't like the sleeves on his shirt. I thought that was stupid.
They feel like
I
they
guess
adjust to fit.
They make like one size fits all sleeves.
I feel like that will be the future.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Of clothes that'll just like fit themselves.
You think like the Spider-Man suit?
Yeah.
Where he like presses the button on the chest and then it's like whoosh.
For sure.
The Iron Spider.
I don't know if it'll be like
another cheap American knockoff.
I don't know if it'll be like electronic or whatever, but I think it'll just kind of happen.
I mean, like, I think that it's going to be the other way around, though. I think we're just going to wear tighter clothes that can stretch more.
Yeah, I mean, maybe. I don't know. You ever seen those jeans that you can like? They're gigantic, and you buy them and then like shrink them to fit in hot water.
No,
you have to take like a bath in them,
and then they
conform to your legs.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, I don't know if it works. I haven't seen them in a long time either. But like I ran into them at some point. They're like, hang on a second.
Do you remember we were in college and like there was like a 2-week period where we went to the mall to buy jeans or something, and the thing that was in was like jeans that had another pair of jeans sewn into them?
Yeah. Why did that exist?
I don't know. That was like, and then they had like, you could get like 2 pairs of jeans or like 6.
Yeah.
Right? And it was like, what?
Yeah, I don't know, man.
This isn't a thing.
I don't know, man. Yeah, you can get Levi's 501 shrink to fit jeans.
Weird.
Yeah. I don't know how they work.
Weird. Have I talked about jeans on this podcast before?
Maybe.
I'm going to tell you about jeans real quick. People always talk about jeans like they're the great American pant.
Yeah.
Right? Like, there's nothing more comfortable than a pair of jeans. I've never had that experience with denim.
Really?
I've been wearing jeans my whole life, and you know what's more comfortable than a pair of jeans? Most other kinds of pants. Specifically, like sweats.
Oh yeah, no, I mean it's sweatpants, then jeans, then everything else for me.
See, but like I don't even think that. Like I wear suits to work. I think that like suit pants made of wool or silk are more comfortable than jeans because and I was very fortunate this year to somehow end up with 3 different $100 pair of jeans. I don't know how it happened.
Yeah.
I don't know that I bought any of them. I think if I did, they were on like a super sale. So I got a pair of Tommy Hilfiger jeans, a pair of Vineyard Vines jeans, and a pair of Polo jeans.
Yeah.
Right? And like my whole life, I've just bought the Arizona or the Levi or whatever was the store brand, and I've never been like, oh, this is an exceptionally comfortable pair of jeans. And it was the exact same way with 2 of those 3 brands I just mentioned. Was like, yeah, I mean, these are jeans.
I mean, maybe your body just doesn't like denim.
Maybe, but like, they're not like itchy.
I mean,
I don't know.
I'm not saying they're itchy. I'm just saying that maybe you're never gonna be, Mr. Denim.
Mr. Denim. I'm currently wearing sweats because
I'm wearing sweatpants joggers. They're awesome. Listen to the instructions on these f***ing Levi's.
Tell me about it.
Method 1: sit and soak.
That sounds miserable.
Buy your size in the waist, 2 sizes up in length. Wear them in the tub and then keep them on to dry.
That sounds like the worst experience you could ever have because there is no weather out there that's ideal to be wearing wet jeans.
Yeah.
in. Cold weather. Now I have frozen.
Method
jeans. Hot
2.
weather.
Machine wash and dry. Machine wash in warm water and line dry for a classic rigid feel. We recommend ordering up as jeans will shrink after washing. And then method 3, skip the wash. For purists who like their denim unwashed, no need to size up. Buy them true to size.
And that's it?
So yeah, you just never wash your jeans ever. These come in 45 colors. These come in 45 colors.
That's a lot of colors for jeans.
45 colors.
I just like...
Oh my god, what is this life? I'm so glad I remember these existed. I'm never gonna buy them ever, but Jesus Christ.
Can I tell you the results of my nice jeans experiment?
Yeah, sorry, I wasn't trying to cut you off.
No, it's fine. That's crazy. So the Polo jeans were the ones I got first. I was very excited about them. I got them in a brand new outlet.
Didn't they rip like immediately?
They ripped.
Yeah.
They ripped, which I feel like if you're selling me jeans, they need to not rip. If you're selling me jeans that cost more than $50.
Yeah.
And they already had a hole in them, which was like a fashionable hole. If you follow me on Twitter, you know my dealings with fashionable holes in jeans.
Yeah.
I have always thought when people have jeans with holes in them that like the hole it's almost like you don't even notice it and the jean is just still warm everywhere. It's not. You very much feel the hole in your pants. It's freezing. I don't
I've
get
never
it.
gotten it.
Like, have you ever seen girls who wear jeans that are just like mostly whole?
Yeah.
Those girls must be freezing.
Yeah.
It's cold outside.
No,
ladies.
I've seen
Put
girls.
some pants
I saw a
on.
girl the other day wearing like plaid tights underneath her holy jeans.
That's kind of a cool.
It looked really cool, actually. I was like, that's a cool look. But I can only imagine she was just wearing the normal jeans and was just like, I'm freezing.
Yeah, because they're cold.
Yeah, because it's 10 degrees outside today.
And then, so when those ripped, I got the Tommies. And the Tommy Hilfiger jeans feel exactly like any other pair of jeans I've ever worn. There's absolutely no distinction whatsoever. And then for Christmas, I got a pair of Vineyard Vines jeans, and they're a little stretchy.
Yeah.
This is the way jeans should be made.
I would agree
This
with
is
that.
the greatest pair of jeans I've ever worn.
I would agree with that.
I love them. I would wear like they're the only jeans I've ever worn and been like, okay, this is what people are talking about when they're talking about how great jeans are.
So basically, since I went to like high school, I've been wearing like American Eagle jeans.
Yeah,
like, always.
I remember.
Like, I still wear them. It's still the only jeans I have. But like I've never had a pair that lasted particularly long time.
Yeah. They bleed too.
They do bleed. They bleed a lot onto everything.
Yep.
Like shoes, other shirts, chairs, like
everything. Everything's gonna be blue.
And so I'm currently on the quest for finding a new pair of jeans, but I just I don't want to pay that much money for jeans.
Yeah, I don't either.
Like they're already more expensive than I think they should be.
And here's my thing: is that we really derailed Back to the Future, but as a grown man, I have no occasion to wear jeans. Like, I'm either going out to work where I can't wear jeans.
I wear jeans all the time.
Or I can't wear jeans to work.
I wear jeans to work on Fridays.
No option for me.
Yep. So that's one day.
Or the flip side is I am not going to work and I'm at home and I just wear sweats.
But I mean, I keep like one pair of blue jeans at all times. Like, I don't have a stock. I have one pair of blue jeans.
You wear them every week?
Yeah, to work on Fridays. Now I have my black American Eagle jeans, which are about 75% more comfortable than any jeans I've ever had. I don't know why. I don't think they're made of anything different.
Well, like when I wore skinny jeans in college, which was a time, those are made of stretchy material and were exceptionally comfortable.
Yeah.
I would agree.
The American Eagle black jeans that I have held up. I think I got them in sophomore year. I got them sophomore year, and I still have them. Same pair. So they're good. They've been holding up for like 4 or 5 years now. And I play shows in them.
You're such a rock star.
I mean, it's whatever. It's a thing.
Humble brag.
Yeah, we've really gotten off the rails there. I don't know how much of that's going to stay around.
Back to the Future Part 2. So the opening scene.
Hold on. Oh, we've gotten past that. So Marty sees that the Cubs win the World Series.
Yes, he does. And now he's got an idea.
That guy says the thing. He's like, I wish I could go back to the beginning of the season and bet some money on the Cubbies. Which, Cubs fans, stop calling them that. Forever.
I mean,
for the rest of your lives.
Cubs fans are a whole other breed of human
Stop calling
being.
them the Cubbies. It's weird.
We're going to witness sometime in our life the Browns win the Super Bowl.
No, we're not.
And you're just going to see a whole nother kind of fan out there.
No, we're not. It's not going to happen. That franchise needs to be destroyed.
I think they'll probably move and change names pretty soon, but
they already did that. They're the Baltimore Ravens.
I know, but I think they're gonna do it again.
I would hope so. That there's a problem with that team. They need a new owner, honestly.
Yeah.
And
you and I.
You can't fire the owner.
Go fund me. Ethan
We're
and Ty by the Browns.
Gonna start a GoFundMe for Ethan and Ty to buy the Browns. If we could just raise like $1 billion.
Right. That's all we need.
Yeah.
$1 billion.
$1 million. No, wait. $1 billion.
Even the U.S. government was like, that's still, I mean, okay. Is that all you need?
Yeah, seriously. So Marty gets this idea to bring a sports almanac back to the 80s.
Right, because he wants to make a little extra kitty cash.
Yeah. And he can see no way in which this is a bad idea. And to be honest, I don't think it's that bad of an idea if you're Marty McFly and you use it sparingly.
Yeah, right. I think,
like, obviously the temptation is there to do exactly what Biff did and go hog fucking wild with it.
Right.
But
overnight millionaire,
yeah. But like realistically, it's like just pay your rent, bro. Like,
right.
Like, don't draw attention to yourself.
Right. People will figure out that like you've been betting on sports and you're never wrong.
Right. It's like when you win a bunch in Vegas and they just arrest you.
Here's what I think.
Regardless of whether you're cheating or not, they just arrest you.
Well, here's my only thing about this movie is like people always talk about this is the greatest time travel movie of all time because of the accuracy and everything. But I think Biff becoming an overnight millionaire because of his betting would affect the sports world.
Yeah, no, I feel like it would work for like a year or two.
And then the world is so different that like
there would be a significant change to the outcomes.
Right. And that was my only like.
I thought that too.
I
definitely thought that too. I'm like, this would work for a little while, and then it would stop because the outcomes would change.
Right, because time is now very different.
Right. Well, no, even if Marty went back to the 80s and used it like that, like just even a little bit.
Yeah. I agree.
Because like you're gonna make some decision that you wouldn't have made otherwise, and it's gonna change something about the team. You change one game, you butterfly the whole thing.
Right. Right.
Maybe not in baseball, but
Yeah, because those games don't matter.
But Biff sees Doc and Marty flying away in the DeLorean and goes, "Flying DeLorean? I haven't seen one of those in 30 years." And this is when he's figured out that something is up.
It's the same flying DeLorean.
Same flying DeLorean, and the cops have found Jennifer where they just left her lifeless body.
Female cops.
Yeah, female cops left her lifeless body like on a dumpster, and they're just like, "Well, you've been tranked up. We're gonna bring you home." And
then they bring her to the bad neighborhood.
Bring her to the bad neighborhood of Hilldale, and they get her into her house because her thumbprint never changes, which I thought was interesting.
Yep.
That was like that was an interesting premise for that being a problem.
I don't see why they'd even needed a thumbprint. I think they could have just opened the door.
Well, no, not that it was a problem, but like that was they misidentified her as being the 47-year-old like mother.
Right.
Because of her thumbprint,
right?
Which I thought that was just a super interesting thing.
Yeah,
but Jennifer's pretty smart about it. She like immediately realized she needs to get the F out of that house.
Right. She's not like Marty. Or Biff. She's like this is
bad news. This is bad news. She's like, I am gonna run into myself, and she's like, I don't want this. And
you gotta get out of here.
Yeah. So we see the whole family, and Marty's playing like everybody.
Yeah. Marty is all over the place, and Georgie's there. And
yep, new George, and he's upside down the whole time.
I guess that's to make you not look as close.
Probably. Marty's parents are super old, and Marty plays both his daughter and his son and himself and his old self in the same house.
His old self is getting into... Who is the guy that his old self is getting into the shady deal
Needles.
with?
I don't know.
Needles.
Yeah.
But like, was he somebody?
I don't think so, but like Jennifer knew who he was.
Yeah.
She was like, Needles. I'm like...
Is that like a...
I don't know. I guess I missed something in the first one.
Yeah, because I missed who Needles is.
Yeah, no idea.
And then he gets fired.
By the way, Needles is Flea from the Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Oh, look at that.
Turns out. And he is only in Back to the Future Part 2.
Weird. Well, it could have been somebody else in the first one.
I know.
Or, no?
No, I said I know. No, he is in 3 as well. But he's not in 2.
Oh.
Or not in 1. So I don't know, but she seems to know who he is.
Yep.
And I had no idea. Oh my god. One of the little kids that was playing... like in the arcade that was playing not in the arcade, in the 80s cafe is Elijah Wood. I didn't notice that. That's funny.
I didn't either. Funny. I definitely didn't notice that, but I did read that.
Yeah, I did read that.
I knew that.
I'm looking at the cast list right now. But yeah, so Marty's into some shady stuff. I don't know what he's doing, but shady.
What do you think of their Skype calls where it's like, this is so-and-so you're talking to, and this is everything about them? At first I was like, that's not really how it works. And on Skype, it's not really how it works. But if you and I were to get on like Facebook Messenger, it would tell me all sorts of weird stuff about you. Yeah. It would be like, this is Ethan. He's 24 years old, and he likes movies, and he does a podcast, and he's also a sales consultant with State Farm, and
I'm in a band, and
like
it tells me everything.
Right, it was right. Yeah, tell you all that.
That they got kind of right.
Yeah.
But I love that it's like, thank you for using AT&T.
Yeah.
But what they did not get right is that the other guy can just patch in without being allowed.
Right. Yeah, that's not good. That's some NSA kind of stuff.
Yeah. No.
But like at work.
Yeah. No. Not cool. Not cool at all. But they're gonna do that eventually.
Yeah.
That's gonna be a thing.
Well, I guess like my boss could probably do that to my work computer. Like if I was on like a work call.
Right, but like he can't tap into your home computer and like harass you.
Right, and fire me.
Yeah. No, can't do that. What was I saying?
And then they sent him a fax. I thought that was funny.
Fax. It says you're fired. Yeah, and so Jennifer gets out of there, or almost gets out of there, and then she runs into herself. And
herself just passes
they both
out,
pass
which
out.
is good. Yeah, that's what you want.
Yep. But Biff followed them there and went back to the past.
And he changed everything.
He ruined literally everything. Because at first I couldn't figure out what was going on. Like he got back and he like seemed like he was having a heart attack. And I didn't realize he had gone anywhere at first. I was like, why is this dude just like keeling over after getting out of the DeLorean? Because I didn't think he would figure out how to make it time travel.
It's pretty simple.
I mean,
and like 0 to 88 goes pretty quick in the
true
with jet boosters.
True. So, but I mean, it just seems unlikely that he would understand. Oh, I need to get it to 88 and it'll just zap into space.
Well, I think you probably just keep driving and then boom.
Guess so. I don't know. 88 seems pretty fast though.
Maybe not in this version of the future.
I don't know. It seemed like they were going pretty slow, like on the space highways, in that they were like, hey, it's gonna take us till after dark to get out to Hilldale.
I know. It's like, and they're complaining about traffic and everything.
Yeah,
like. You can fly.
What did you think about old Marty wearing 2 ties?
I hated
that's
it.
The future?
No.
That's the future of men's fashion?
No, I do not.
Enough. Okay.
Do you?
No, absolutely not.
What was that? What was that decision?
I don't know.
Kids wearing jeans inside out? I could see that.
But the pockets inside out. Everybody wears their pockets inside out in 2015.
Why?
Why not? They don't need roads. They don't need pockets.
They're not carrying wallets or anything. Yeah, they definitely wouldn't do that because where would you put your cell phone?
Yeah, no, absolutely not. But yeah, so Biff, and I realized that's what's going on. Is old Biff had like erased himself.
Is that what happened?
Doc
Is that what we're
shoots him.
supposed to be believing there? Oh yeah.
So like Biff is, I guess, dead in that timeline, or something changed.
Well, that timeline ceases to.
It does, but like or that's the other thing. It's like Biff is like doing the same thing that Marty did, where he was like killing over.
Right.
And I didn't figure that out first, obviously, because like I was just like, it didn't click in my head that he was able to go back for some reason, because I could not remember how this movie happened.
Yeah. So Biff goes back.
Biff goes back to 55.
Yep.
To November whatever. 55.
The dance, or whatever.
Which is
the Enchantment Under the Sea.
Which is like, I guess, like a firm, like a fixed point in time.
Mm-hmm.
That's what the Doctor would say about it.
Right. Pompeii happens.
Right. Yeah, like there's the axes that these things revolve around. But yeah, so Biff goes back, and we don't know what happens at first. They go back to 85, and something's wrong. Like Jennifer's got bars in the windows, and
Marty like can't get into his own house.
Right. It's not his house.
Yeah, somebody else lives there. That's
because
not
Marty lives in Biff Tower, which they are really pushing this whole Biff is Donald Trump thing.
Is that what this is supposed to be?
I don't think it's supposed to be this necessarily, but it's just paralleling way too well.
I mean, I can definitely see that. It definitely looks similar.
So maybe they predicted that right.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like Biff would be in charge of the world.
Is he supposed to be in charge of the world, or is he just like a millionaire?
I don't know, man. Because it seems like he has to be in charge of a lot of things, or they wouldn't let him run like tanks through the street.
It's true.
Like this is clearly a lawless wasteland.
Yeah, it's not just Hill Valley. Like,
right.
It's everywhere.
There's if it was just Hill Valley, the U.S. government would step in and be like, excuse me, you can't have a post-apocalyptic city here. Like, we're gonna fix this.
Right. You gentrified too hard.
Yeah, like, you went the wrong direction with this. You kind of started murdering people, and everybody rides motorcycles now.
And you own the police.
Yeah. This is not okay, Mr. Biff. We're gonna just assassinate you.
Right. That would be if Hillary was elected. What?
Wow.
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 Why am I coughing so much?
I don't know.
I've coughed for like 3 days.
I'm coughing a lot.
Sucks.
I don't know why.
Yeah, so Marty figures out that something's wrong because he's like, it's not his house, and he goes and picks up the paper, and it's the right date, and it turns out he's on his principal Strickland's front porch.
That dude is ready to straight up kill Marty.
That dude is about to shoot Marty in the face over a newspaper.
Yeah, he's like, you're the one that's been stealing my
somebody
newspapers.
just like comes and like does a drive-by on his house.
Yeah, straight up trying to kill everybody.
They said that the school burned down 6 years ago, and I guess they just haven't created a new school since then.
Right, like, wait a minute, what?
Lawless wasteland. That's what I'm saying.
You gotta also understand, this happened over the course of, 30 years? Yeah. Like, that's not that long.
Yeah, lawless wasteland. But
what happened to the government?
Yeah, I mean, it just looks like it's like Fallout Hill Valley. Like,
right.
I don't know. The NCR is in charge now. The New California Republic.
It's a dangerous place.
Two-headed bear.
Is that in Fallout?
Mm-hmm.
Two-headed bears.
That's that's the flag for the New California Republic. Because the California Republic flag is one bear. One-headed bear.
Right.
I'll post a link to that picture because it's kind of weird. But Biff is Marty's dad now. Because at first I didn't realize what was going on because he's at like the Biff Museum or whatever, and it says that Biff marries Lorraine, and I'm like, shouldn't Marty have just blinked out of existence then? Because I didn't get it at first that like, it was post George. Right. George was murdered.
George exists for a while.
George was murdered, probably by Biff.
He is murdered by Biff.
Was that stated?
Yeah.
Okay.
He said the same gun that killed your father is going to kill you.
Okay. Missed that. That completely. But then, Marty's mom with her huge fake titties is like, you're not half the man George was. I was like, ooh, past tense. Okay, got it. George dead.
Yeah, George is no longer
George died
with
March
us.
15th, 1973. He was murdered.
Straight up. It's in the newspaper. I will say, interesting, the press stays alive and well throughout this whole thing. Like, always a good newspaper in Hill Valley.
Well, I mean, there's, you can say a lot of things about totalitarian dictatorships and the media.
I guess
it's
so.
like,
How they
propaganda.
Right. Tales to astonish.
Yeah. But, Biff, they find the top of Biff's cane in the time machine and realize they have to go back to the past to fix the present.
They gotta stop Biff.
Right.
Got to go back and do the first movie.
Right, because they got to figure out where to go. And so Marty's like, I'm going to go ask Biff. And he does. Biff's just chilling in a hot tub with some naked women, and which, great husband, man. Just great husband.
Hey, I mean, it doesn't sound like he particularly loves Lorraine.
Yeah, and Lorraine wants out of that whole situation, but he threatened to defund her kids.
Yes, and she wants the money for
it appears that 20 or 1985, Marty is in Switzerland at boarding school.
We're supposed to be anyway.
God knows where he actually is, but that's where he's supposed to be.
Right.
But Biff regales the whole story of November 12th, 1955. Some crazy old codger with a cane shows up, says he's my distant relative, and he goes, I don't see the resemblance. I'm like, Biffington over here. It's you.
There was an opportunity in this movie to make Biff a quasi-redeemable character.
Yeah, and they didn't take it.
Because, like, you can tell that he lives with, like, his grandma, and they don't have the best life.
Right.
But, like, they do, is the problem. Like, Biff has a nice car
I
for 1955.
I didn't think that they necessarily got the vibe they didn't, like, live well.
Well, I guess they could have made it that way or something. I don't know. Or that she's, like, got cancer or something. They could have done something to make you feel
appears that Biff does not have parents.
Correct.
It would appear that Biff does not have parents. He lives with a grandmother. He has a very nice 46 Ford.
Yeah, with torn that DeLorean apart.
Which is like, I think it's interesting that they still had him like drive like a 10-year-old car.
It's a sweet
It is a sweet car. But like 40s cars and 50s cars look very different from each other. So I just thought that was interesting that he drives like not like a classic car, but like almost a classic car.
Right.
But yeah, so Biff got the book and was told to bet on all the sporting events, and that if you just bet on the winners, you'll get rich.
It works.
And then Biff reveals that he was told by old Biff that Doc and Marty would eventually show up asking about the book.
And then you need to kill them.
Right. And you need to kill them. So he just pulls out the gun and starts shooting at Marty.
Yep. And Marty steals the matchbook.
Yep. And Doc rescues Marty and, like, I guess murders Biff.
I don't think he murders him. I think he just hits him with a door.
I thought he was shot. Because Doc's...
No, I don't think he was
shot. I looked down to write something, and I just looked up, and Marty said, nice shot, Doc.
Oh, because he pulled up, and he opens the gull wing door, and it hits him.
Gotcha. Because I just saw Biff lying on the ground, and I was like, this guy took a turn. But at the same time, like, it didn't really matter. Like, they could do whatever they want, because it's an alternate timeline that they're going to go fix. Doc has no regards for anything, because he's like, we don't have a choice but to fix this. He's like, we're going to leave Jennifer and Einstein.
Happen.
Like, it doesn't matter because they'll be fine.
Right, the world will change around.
The world will change around. They're not part of this timeline. So they go back to 55, and I thought it was funny. They park in the exact same spot.
They do?
Like where Marty hid the DeLorean in 55.
Oh yeah,
in the entrance to Lion Estates or whatever.
Yeah.
They park in the exact same spot, and Doc pulls out all the money from the different eras and.
Wouldn't all of that still just be good? Like, the furthest forward he can go?
Yeah, I mean, for sure. But, like, you don't want to pull out $1975.
Why not?
Because it's the 50s.
Oh, right. But, I mean, if you were in 2015...
Oh, yeah, no, you'd be fine with that. But, like, you wouldn't want to pull out one of these brand new, like, blue Benjamins in, 55. They'd be like, this is not money.
Right. I don't even know what this is.
I barely still believe that they're real.
I know. Every time I pay with one, I'm always like...
Yeah.
Which is not often.
Say,
I'm not
every time I'm at
$7-Eleven,
7-Eleven, I'm just like, hey, can you break 100?
Right.
Which, let me tell you, guy, you're the worst.
Me?
Whoever tries to pay for their, pack of cigarettes with a $100 bill.
Well, sometimes you got to.
Yeah, well, go to the bank first.
Which,
you're holding me up.
Yeah, well, smoking
them and
causes cancer and
freaking lottery people, man.
Oh, dude, the lotto. Yeah, you want to talk about something Marty could have done instead of playing sports gambling is just win the lottery.
That's probably a more reliable way to make sure you get arrested.
Oh, cheating the lottery? It's true.
Like, if you just hit the Mega Millions automatically, like, they investigate that.
I wouldn't.
I mean, they do, though.
I'd be like, wow, congratulations, sir. Here's your Mega
but I mean,
Millions.
especially if you play with like a custom number and win.
I don't know what to tell you, Joe.
What do you mean?
You're not going to win the lottery.
I'm not saying I'm going to win the lottery. I'm saying that Marty playing the lottery is a bad idea. But also, like, it's probably a lot less likely that they just have lottery numbers from all over the place just written down in a nice, neat book.
That's
which
true.
I don't think sports almanacs
are
necessarily work like that either. They've got, like, every single result from every single sports game. I've never seen a book like that. That is 50 years worth of every single game.
Yeah, no. You find, like, the 2016 NFL almanac.
Right.
And it would have a bunch of pictures
in it. It's not a 50-year, because that was a pretty small book. It's not going to have 50 years of college football, of every single college football team.
And horse racing.
And there's a lot of horse races.
It happens like 6 times a day, doesn't it?
I mean, there's like 9 races at the Kentucky Derby, and that's like one day of the year.
Right.
But where were we at? So Doc makes a good point, is they have to let young Biff get the almanac. Like, he has to get the almanac so that old Biff will go back and bring the DeLorean back.
Right.
To, like, the actual time.
Yeah, right. Because they have to get it.
So they have to go get it and to come back in the first place. So that's the tricky part, is because they can't just stop old Biff, which I guess they could. They could definitely stop old Biff and just bring the DeLorean back themselves, but that would make a much shorter movie.
Well, and then they would be stuck.
Would they?
Yeah, because then there would be 2 Docs and Martys in the future, and they wouldn't be able to interact.
Yeah, no, you're right. Yeah, no, okay, you're correct. I was thinking about that wrong. Time travel's complicated, man. Somebody
Yeah,
took a
it
long
is.
time
Very
like figuring out
complicated.
the screenplay because it does
Greatest
make
screenplay
sense
of all time. It
Like,
does.
You cannot put a hole in the like time travel mechanic in these.
Right.
Like they very clearly like bad things happen if you see each other. You know, there's never like overlap necessarily. I mean, there is overlap, but like not in a way that doesn't make sense. So it is very meticulously planned.
Right.
But it's the same day. Basically, they go back to the same day of the Enchantment Under the Sea dance, and Biff is literally even still just harassing Lorraine in the streets.
Just a bad dude.
I don't know what his deal is, and Marty like hops in the back of his car and covers himself with a blanket.
I don't know how he doesn't notice him. Yeah, like what?
And Marty's being real inconspicuous here. Not.
I own a convertible. If there's something in the back seat, it's very noticeable.
Yeah. If there's like a person laying under a blanket, you would notice.
Right. Immediately.
Yeah, you would notice. And he has like a conversation on the walkie-talkie in the back of the car.
Yeah, he's like talking to Doc.
Yeah, while Biff is driving.
Vehicle.
And that was the one part where I was like, okay, listen here.
Biff's dumb. He's not that dumb.
Hey, he's not that dumb. And then we just get this whole charade of them passing the book back and forth for like the next 45 minutes of movie.
It happens for a long time.
It's just annoying. I don't like these scenes. Like, he gets it, and then the principal gets it, and then Marty steals it from the principal, but it's the wrong book, and Biff actually had the book, and then, like, George has the book, and then he gets the book from Biff when George knocks Biff out, and then he goes and steals it, and then Biff steals it back, and then he has to go steal it again.
Yeah, and it's just like drawing this like long, annoying.
Yeah, it's like
thing.
the kind of thing that an old Looney Tunes cartoon would cover in 45 seconds.
Right. Yeah, it's exactly like that, or like a Tom.
Yeah,
and
they're
Jerry.
sitting there, doing the like duck season, rabbit season, duck season, rabbit season, and it's like a funny bit for 10 seconds, not half of a movie.
And I guess they just want to build the tension, but I think they could have cut out a good amount of that, and you would have been like, okay,
yeah, that's fine.
Works.
That's fine. And I thought it was funny though that Marty calls Doc and he's like, I goofed up, Doc. I don't know where the book is. I can't find it. And like the whole scene's going on behind him where like George is Biff is there and George is beating up Biff, and he finally hears Lorraine yelling, and he's like, oh, that's what's happening right now. This just happened yesterday, Marty. Yesterday. Right. What do you mean you don't know where Biff is?
You just did all of this.
You were present for this. Marty. New 2050 or new 1985 Marty is done. Like he has lost some. The time travel's messed with his head, man. He's lost some significant planning reflexes in between Back to the Future Part 1 and 2.
Well, he was definitely way cooler in Back to the Future Part 1. He was also cool in Part 2, and the rest of his family's still extremely lame. Like, his son is incompetent, and...
Well, because he has the accident that changes his whole future.
That's true.
He gives up music. He's not cool anymore.
Yeah. His music is what makes you a cool person.
We do get a classic, like, sandbag drop, ride the rope down scene, which I thought was cool. That made Marty look cool.
Yeah. And did you notice that 3D, the guy in the 3D glasses, puts booze in the punch, and then George drinks the punch and then beats up Biff?
I did.
That's where he gets his
little extra courage from.
So that's something for the kids.
Yeah, no, for sure. But the whole time this scene was happening, especially when like Marty's on the stage and also on the side of the stage, I'm like, this movie literally had to be a nightmare to shoot.
It must have been.
Because I don't know how they did it. Maybe they just green screened and played the movie over it, basically. I really don't know.
There was a few times where you could tell they had like doubles and stuff like that. Like if it was just a shot at the back of Marty or a lot of time, like in the scene where Biff is talking to himself in the car. You can tell that, like, the window on the car is two different screens. And then, like, anytime he would reach over and touch him. Or, like, when Doc hands himself the wrench, it's, like, behind a lamppost.
Right, yeah, because it's just somebody else talking. Right. And I get it. It's split screen. It's, green screen, everything like that. And it's complicated. It's a lot of tough cinematic tricks. But, like, it just had to be awful to shoot. Because you're sitting there going, really? We're going to remake this entire movie just with, like, a different overlay?
From a different angle?
Yeah, exactly. It'd be one thing if they had shot it at the same time. Like, they shot all three of them at the same time.
I don't know how the third one goes.
Well, no, I mean, they did shoot 2 and 3 together. That's what I'm saying, is if they were shooting all of them at once, and they were like, okay, let's just go ahead and knock out these scenes from 2, while we've got the whole set. Everything's already done up. We only have to make 495,000 costume changes.
Did he take his wallet?
I wanted to punch that dude in the face.
I think he took his wallet.
He ran off with a book, dude. Do you not know what a wallet looks like?
I don't know what a wallet looked like in 1955.
I mean, it would look like a wallet.
Do you think he took his wallet? I think he took his wallet.
You know what drove me crazy is every time Marty picked up the walkie-talkie, he would go, Doc! Doc! Like, why do you need to say it twice?
I don't know.
At this point in my notes... right when Marty's about to drop the sandbags on Biff's friend's to stop them from jumping his other self. I wrote the note, this movie is quickly evaporating off the rails.
It is. It's going all over the place, dude.
And, I mean, it's just, they've lost the plot at this point. Because Marty's got this thing where, like, he freaks out and hulks out every time somebody calls him chicken.
Oh, that is, like, my least favorite part of this whole movie.
Was that a thing in the first movie?
I don't know, but why does it matter?
No.
Like, Marty McFly is too cool to care that much about what somebody calls him chicken. Yeah, and, like, was that solved? Like, did he fix that about himself?
No, because they said that.
I thought
that's why he gets in an accident.
Right, but that's what I thought. It's like at the end when 3D or whatever is like, or Biff is like, what are you, chicken? Right there at the end, I thought he was going to be like, nope. No, and then he was just going to be a bigger person.
No, he still freaks out.
Instead, he hulks out and freaks out.
Not young Marty, like day before Marty knocks him out with the door.
Yeah, weird stuff there. Yeah. Whoa.
Yeah. But Biff takes the book back and hops in his car, drives off. And so Marty has to go find Doc. They take the DeLorean and chase down Biff. And
DeLorean flies very quietly.
Yeah, it does. He wouldn't notice. And Doc was flying behind him like he was just driving while Marty's hoverboarding off the back of Biff's car.
They're all about that Marty skating behind someone's car trick.
Exactly. I mean, and that's how I got anywhere playing like Tony Hawk's Pro Skater or like Tony Hawk's American Wasteland or Underground. Any of those games, I just like latch onto a vehicle and have them drag me places.
Man, that's the best way to skate is to not do any work at all.
But like, and then there's this whole thing where Biff is like dragging Marty around and driving down the road like all recklessly, and
this goes on for a while.
And, like, there's no way Marty would have been able to hang on that long.
Yeah, like, runs him into walls and stuff.
And the book is just, like, stuck on the windshield. Dude, it was weird. It was a whole weird scene. But eventually, the result is Marty gets the book, and Biff crashes into another manure truck.
Which is funny. I thought that was classy.
Right. It was funny. But then Marty burns the almanac. Is that a problem?
I thought for sure Marty was going to open it up. Like, he wouldn't be able to resist.
I did too.
Opening it up and being like, 1993 World Series is won by the...
Right, just write down one thing.
Right, who did win the 93 World Series?
Probably the Yankees.
Blue Jays.
What?
Yeah.
Weird.
Beat the Phillies.
Weird.
Yeah, I thought he wasn't going to be able to resist. And then I did think it was cool that the DeLorean gets struck by lightning, and that's all that it needed to have happened to travel.
Right, like it got transported back to 1885 because Doc refused to fix the time thing.
Yeah, I knew that was going to
come back. Oh, yeah, definitely, because it was like, gotta fix this.
Yeah. And I was like, what do you mean you have a faulty piece in your time machine? I've seen Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure.
That's a terrible idea.
Yeah, you gotta fix that stat.
And then, like, immediately afterward, the Western Union guy shows up. That was funny.
From Western Union.
We've had this letter in our office for 70 years to be delivered at this exact minute. I was like, damn. That's hilarious. That is hilarious. Because Doc's obviously dead by that point.
Right. I mean, anybody.
Right. Yeah, he was an old man and 70 years later.
Right.
But yeah, so Marty gets the letter and he's like, Doc's alive. Everything's good. He's in 1885 and he's got all that. And then they go back to the scene where the DeLorean disappears in 55 and Marty runs back up and it's just like, Doc. He's like, no, you just left. And he goes, I'm back. And Doc just faints.
Wait, what happens?
What do you mean, what happens?
Wait, run that back.
What are you confused about?
The ending. Did I miss something?
Apparently.
Here? Repeat that ending.
What, did you not watch the ending of the movie? Like
yeah. So
he shows up right after as the DeLorean left from the first movie.
So this is supposed to be where they become friends or whatever?
No.
This is how they know each other?
No, I don't think so. It's how they get back to 1885.
Don't they have to like build a time machine?
They have to go find the DeLorean. Doc left it somewhere like broken in the 1800s and left instructions for Marty on how to fix it in the 50s.
Oh. Okay.
So he has to go find Doc, and they have to fix the DeLorean, and then Marty goes back to the 1880s, and they have a whole movie.
I'm excited. That sounds like fun. The Old West.
It did get a better Rotten Tomato score than 2.
Did it really?
Pretty sure.
What if it doesn't suck?
I recall it sucking, but I was wrong about this one too. I don't know. Christopher Lloyd always said he wanted to make one more, where he and Marty went back to the ancient Rome.
Yeah, I heard that.
Which would have been hilarious.
Why?
I'm just imagining the DeLorean in a chariot race, and it's making me laugh.
He does turn it into a chariot in the little preview.
Which, I hate that stuff. The thing the Avengers did, where it like gives you a preview of the next movie.
Oh yeah, that was stupid.
I hate that.
But I mean, the TARDIS is not in a thingy.
What?
The TARDIS isn't like a chariot racing vehicle, but it does show up in a bunch of weird places.
Okay. What are you talking about? What's that have anything to do with it?
I don't know.
I just think that would be like a funny thing.
It would be.
I think that they could have made some great jokes with Doc and Marty in the 1880s. Not 1880s, in the 80s. The 80s.
The original 80s.
The H1s, I love the 1790s.
Right.
But yeah, so that's the plot of that movie. It's something, man.
It's heavy. They keep saying it's heavy.
Yeah, Marty says that a lot.
Yeah, he's like, oh, Doc, this is heavy.
Whatever that means.
Doc.
Pat.
I do like Doc a lot, though. I like the Doc is in this.
Yeah, I'm glad we got more Doc than before.
What did you like? What did you dislike, Ethan? You always ask me this question. I never know how to answer.
I don't know how to answer either. That's why I ask you first, generally.
It's like, I don't know. I liked the whole thing.
Yeah, I mean, it did a lot of things well in that, like I said, it had a solid time travel mechanic. There was a lot of like looping back and forth over each other, and it all resolved. It all made sense.
Yeah, it all worked.
And, like, which is a big flaw in a lot of time travel movies, where it's like there's an obvious hole as to like either this is how they could write themselves out of it in 5 minutes, or this is why it wouldn't work like this. But this one, I don't have a whole lot of like.
The time travel definitely works.
Right, that it was like, oh, well, Doc would have been dead or whatever at that point.
Right.
There wasn't really any of that, so that was good. I mean, it was congruent with the first movie in that it harkened back enough to it, and obviously, but like it, borrowed enough from the plot to still be cool in some parts, but then other parts it borrowed way too much from the plot in that it was just the same movie told from a different
lot of
angle.
it was. Well, yeah, and even like not only is it the same movie told from a different angle, but it's also like the same story just told
in the
from
future. Right.
Like not only do we watch the entire first movie's climax again, but we also watch the whole build up from the first movie just instead of in 1955 and 2000.
Right. It's like they just reused the screenplay.
Right.
And
that was what frustrated me probably more than.
And I think the whole premise of like the sports almanac being this big of a deal is almost annoying.
You don't think Biff would have just made millions and then it would have been like,
no,
oh,
it's just that I think that they could have done something better with it. I think they could have found a better reason for there to be like a plot in this movie.
Yeah, I can see that.
And I wish it wasn't about Biff.
Yeah, I don't like
especially
Biff
since the premise was like, we gotta do something about your kids, Marty. There's something wrong with your kids.
Yeah, and then they tackle that in like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Like they get back and like they solve that problem.
Yeah, completely. They're like, okay, we can go back to 85 now. Great.
But the bigger problem they should have been tackling was, oh, Marty, did you know that in like a week you're gonna have a car crash? We can prevent that, and then your kids won't.
Well, I don't necessarily know if Doc knew about that.
Well, he knew that Marty was in the crapper.
Yeah. Maybe.
Because Jennifer was asking questions our wedding was beautiful. Are we rich? And Doc's like, you don't want to know too much about your future self.
Right. Fair enough. I didn't really think about that. But yeah, no, they definitely are going to have to address that at some point. If they don't, I'm going to be very upset. Because I can honestly remember nothing about the third one.
Bum, ba-dum, bum, bum, ba-dum.
What?
Bum, ba-dum, bum.
Where is this coming from?
Isn't that like Indiana Jones, like the West?
Yeah, it's Indiana Jones.
Yeah, that's what I think of when I think of the West.
Wow, buddy, you really don't know what Indiana Jones is about.
I don't know. He's got a whip.
Okay. It takes place in, the first one takes place in like Egypt. The second one takes place in India. And the third one, I believe, takes place in like Iraq.
Yeah, but he's like a cowboy.
He's... Not really. He's like an explorer.
He's a professor, right? That belongs in a museum.
Yeah. Well, maybe you should watch those movies.
I don't know. That's what I think of when I think of the like. That sounds to me like the West.
I would agree with that. It's a very, very Western score from John Williams.
That's all I'm trying to say.
Well, I wasn't sure what you were getting at.
It's like Tombstone, right?
Tombstone is a great movie.
I know. Some would say the best of all time.
Those people are wrong.
Well, yeah, they are, but some would say that.
Some. Not me, but some.
Right. There are those out there.
Yeah. Anyway, what did you like about this movie?
What did I like about this movie? Mostly the same stuff that you said. I like at the end of the day, it is enjoyable. Like I did watch it. I did have fun. I did feel like it was long. I don't know, like how long is it? I don't even know. Let's find out. Back to the Future Part 2. Oh, it's actually pretty short. It's only an hour and 48 minutes. But I felt like it was really long. I felt like it dragged on. Like there was just a bunch of stuff where they were kind of forcing the plot.
Oh yeah, it definitely felt like it dragged. Like they wrote like an hour-long movie and we're like, well, shoot.
Crap.
We need more time.
Right.
How do we write 45 more minutes into this?
I think as far as effects go, they all hold up pretty well. Like the getting the two of them to appear on screen, like the appearing on screen. Yeah, there's
not a whole lot of like obvious lines.
It doesn't get in its own way or anything. Which I think is really good. Like I think that's part of the reason people like it so much. But I thought it was cool they did like the 2015 thing and they have, an idea of what the future's going to be like, and I always think that's fun to see the expectations of how things are going to be. I think that 30 years is just not enough time for what they were expecting. But I also think that the smartphone is, one day there were not smartphones and the next day there were.
Right.
And that was, like it doesn't take 30 years for that to happen.
No, not at all.
To somebody, it was not an overnight success, but to the world, like it actually was.
Right. No, for sure. Yeah, I mean, I like this movie. I definitely don't dislike it. It's not by any means the worst movie reviewed on this podcast.
No, it's not.
Like, not even close.
I didn't see... Edward Norton didn't sleep anywhere.
You keep coming back to that.
That's all I noticed that whole movie is that he was just, like, asleep or he was the Hulk.
I mean, fair. By no means the worst movie reviewed.
I think it's also harder to talk more about a movie you didn't like. Like you make your point and you're like, well, that's it. I don't need to.
Right. It wasn't my favorite movie by any means. I'm I'm not hitting on it here, but like it wasn't great.
Right. Yeah. I guess the big thing for me is I don't get why the community.
Yeah, I don't know.
likes it so
And we can talk about that. It's like I have no idea. This is like people say that this is the best one.
Right. Like
It's just not. It's not better than the first one. And even I said that last week because I remember liking it a lot more as like a child.
It's like it's too heavy. Like these 80s movies are supposed to be just like fun, light, borderline comedy things. Of course, you can't come up to Robert Zemeckis in 2018 and be like, "Hey, what the hell? The 80s were supposed to be fun and light and whatever." It's like he's swinging you miss.
Robert Zemeckis is like, I decide.
Right, I get to decide what.
This was also 89. So
yeah, that's true. And there is a significant change in the way movies were made in the 90s to the 80s.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Can you tell me why the community likes this one the best? And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I've only heard that from a few people that I would consider authorities on the Back to the Future series, because I just don't know.
I don't know enough about it, honestly. Yeah.
That much about it, right? But if you're asking me, the first one is by far way better than this movie.
Okay. I'm reading up real quick on like why people like it better. Okay, here we go. MTV.com. 25 reasons Back to the Future Part 2 is still the best in the series.
Okay. Give me one.
Like number one?
Just give me a one.
All right, well, give me one second.
Reason.
Oh, this is like a BuzzFeed list, which is like stupid gifs about unimportant things in the movie. Like they're saying, oh, no, reason number 9 is future Griff's hat, Doc Brown's glasses, and that there are cooler cars than the DeLorean. And like Marty's hat. And I'm like, no, these are not reasons. So I take it back. Maybe people don't like this movie. Maybe I'm wrong.
Maybe I'm
because like I typed in why do people like Back to the Future 2 best? And then the first result is why don't people like Back to the Future Part 2? And then why is Back to the Future 3 better than Back to the Future 2? And Back to the Future Part 3 is perfect and it's way better than 2.
Interesting. I'm very curious now.
Okay. There's an article from Polygon.com. It says Back to the Future Part 2 is the reason you still care about the series in the first place.
Nope. I like the first one.
All right, let me read this real quick because this actually looks like it's well thought out. Basically, this article, okay, so I guess we're wrong about this because nobody seems to be able to come up with a convincing argument for why this is the best one. And apparently, I've just heard several people say that it is. There's an article here, and obviously from Huffington Post, but it's 8 popular Back to the Future lies you need to stop believing. And the first one is Back to the Future Part 2 is the best.
So we're all in agreement.
Yeah, no, this movie sucks. Out of the 3 of them. Apparently, 3 is the best. So we're just going to keep hyping this train up.
Here we go. I think I will be very surprised if it's
I just read that whole article from Polygon, or I skimmed it at least, and it seemed that their main point was Back to the Future 2 is the best because you get to see into the future. No, it's not. I disagree with that.
Yeah, that part's not interesting enough. And maybe it's because we're attacking it from after 2015.
True, that's definitely a thing. It's like we knew what 2015 happened, or how 2015 happened.
Granted, I didn't expect the movie to look like 2015.
No, and it was closer than I thought it would be.
Yeah, I mean, the shoes I thought were very much right. And like, I don't know if the jacket, like the technology in the jacket wasn't right, but that jacket was like, be a cool looking jacket. Like I would wear
and like
that.
We don't have holographic movie theaters. We have like 3D and IMAX. It's really the flying cars thing is the main thing. Flying cars and hoverboards. And I think we're probably closer to hoverboards than flying cars.
Yeah, and I mean, we have like, there was a resurgence. I think like the 2000, like maybe the early 2000s, skateboard technology was like a big deal still. And then I feel like, and maybe this was just because this was when I was like in high school and stuff and it wasn't part of what I was interested in. But I feel like since like 2005, 2015, I feel like skateboard technology didn't go anywhere. And since like 2015, there have been, a huge resurgence in like electric longboards.
Yeah, I mean, skateboard technology didn't really go anywhere from like 1965, 2015.
Right.
Like,
and then people were like, there's some cool
if you
stuff.
watch Lords of Dogtown,
like,
it's like, it looks the exact same pretty much, except that they only have, they're only like curved on one end.
Weird.
Yeah.
What do you know? Learn something every day.
Yeah, it's a good movie. Movie about skateboarding as far as they go. It's a pretty good one. But yeah, so I guess people don't really like Back to the Future 2 that much. So
Capital Cities does.
Back to the Future 2. And I'd be lying if I said that didn't influence my opinion on this movie.
Definitely.
Because I was like going into this expecting, because that movie literally, or that song literally says it's good. And it's just not. It's okay.
What they say. It is. I mean, it's about Biff.
It is about Biff. And from what I remember, Biff doesn't go away.
Yeah, from what I understand, it's the same premise really for the third one.
Right, it's like, well, it's a similar premise. It's about Biff's great granddaddy or whatever.
It's still Thomas F. Wilson.
I think so, yeah. It is.
No, it is. I'm looking at it right now.
Yeah. Well, of course. I mean, everybody plays the same characters. Like, I'm sure there will be like a granddad Marty, since everybody's just lived here since the dawn of freaking time.
Well, where else would you live other than
Hill Valley, California? A non-real place, I think.
I don't know.
Hill Valley is not a real place. Got it.
But the Lone Pine Mall is in a real place.
It's a real mall.
It's not called
it's
Lone
a
Pine
real
Mall, but it is like
because people showed up there on like the day that on October 26th or whatever, expecting
what's his butt?
Michael J. Fox to show up. Plot twist: he didn't.
No.
Okay, well let's do some rankings. So villain ranking, we're going lower than the Mandarin.
Yeah, dude, I don't like Biff at all.
Would you put him at the bottom of the list?
Here's the only thing about Biff is that I don't want to have to say this. It's like Joffrey. Like, I don't watch Game of Thrones, but I've heard people talk about it. Like, he does a good job of making a character that I absolutely hate.
It's different.
But I think I hate Biff because he's poorly written.
Yeah, no, Joffrey's really well written, and that's why you hate him.
Right. I don't like Biff because he says butthead.
Yeah. They both suck. Don't get me wrong. I'm not defending Joffrey Baratheon, but
yeah, I just...
Yeah, no. Bad news bears on that one. Joffrey sucks. Biff sucks. They all suck. Everyone sucks.
Correct.
Yeah.
Villains are bad.
Okay, fair enough. So we're putting him below Abomination. Okay.
Yeah.
Bottom of the list. All right, cool. Is he our new low standard behind instead of Tommy Lee Jones?
No, Tommy Lee Jones' Two-Face doesn't make any sense. There's no
Is he worse than Biff? Okay.
Yes.
Fair enough.
Doesn't make any sense. Two-Face wouldn't flip a coin twice.
Is he better than the Trade Federation goons from The Phantom Menace?
Those are great villains.
No, they're not. They're the bottom of our list. They're the bottom of our scale of Star Wars villains. It goes from Trade Federation goons to Sebulba.
Sebulba is the greatest.
Do you not
villain
remember that conversation we had?
I'm sure we did, but
yeah, it was your statement. You're like, Sebulba's our new scale. Sebulba.
The king.
Okay. Movie ranking. Let me pull up the all-time rankings.
rankings.
Hang on a second. Padbean.com. Okay, episodes. All right, all-time ranking. We got Back to the Future, Star Wars: The Last Jedi, Iron Man, Guardians of the Galaxy, Avengers: Age of Ultron, Avengers, Captain America: The First Avenger, Captain America: The Winter Soldier, Ant-Man, Iron Man 3, Thor, Thor: The Dark World, Iron Man 2, The Incredible Hulk.
It's better than Thor: The Dark World,
but not as good as Thor.
I don't know if I can say that. No, I think I can say that.
So wait, you're saying it goes in 12th place,
in between Thor and Thor: The Dark World. There needs to be some separation between those two movies. Thor: The Dark World is not good.
Yeah, I mean, there's eventually going to be a bunch of movies, I think, that slot themselves in there. Like, Thor and everything above are all very good movies, and Thor: The Dark World and everything below are very bad movies.
Right.
Okay, I can live with that. That was pretty quick.
I mean, because, what's below, then what are we saying it's better
The
than?
Incredible Hulk, Iron Man 2, and
Thor:
Thor:
The Dark World. Yeah, it's better than those.
But it's not as good as Thor or Iron Man 3 or Ant-Man.
I can't believe Ant-Man is so low. I think there's going to be some separation between Iron Man 3 and Ant-Man as time goes on.
I mean, I can believe Ant-Man's that low.
It's got some stiff competition.
We've reviewed some good movies. I personally think it's better than Winter Soldier, but I didn't win that one.
That's both.
Yeah. Okay, so between Thor and Thor: The Dark World, we're putting Back to the Future 2.
Yeah, I feel like I'm hurting somebody because I've got I feel like so much pressure to think that it's good. I'm really hoping people back us on this.
Maybe. We'll probably get a lot of backlash. People, random Back to the Future fans are just like, hey, listen.
Wait a second.
Wait a second, guys. Okay, so to me, this is a breakfast food that is very hyped, but disappointing. It's like, what is scrambled eggs part 2 that's gross?
Eggs scrambled hard.
It's that quiche we had at the King George Inn that was 75% onion.
It could be a quiche.
You remember that quiche?
Complicated, there's a lot. I do not, but there's a lot to it. And it's not like a casserole. Like, casserole was
awesome. Before Chris's wedding.
No, I'm familiar with when we were there. I don't remember the food.
They gave us a quiche. It was like a spinach and onion quiche, and it was like 4% egg
and 75%
and
onion.
Like it was like a lot of onion and a lot of spinach and very little quiche.
I don't remember this, but that sounds accurate. It's just, but I mean, you gotta also remember. So it's got to be something that's well done. That's what I'm telling you. Eggs scrambled hard is where I fall on this one. They're not maybe heavy enough.
I don't know what does scrambled
well
hard mean.
It's like you know how you can get your egg like extra cooked.
Oh, I prefer that.
Then you should order your eggs scrambled hard.
I'll do that. Like I like if I have a fried egg, I don't want it to be runny. I don't. I hate that stuff.
I want to bite into my egg sandwich and there's yolk everywhere.
No. Negatory morning glory. Not about it. But okay. So what do we land on for breakfast food?
I don't know.
Because I just all we discovered is how Ethan doesn't like his eggs.
I know. I mean, I think we could put this as a quiche. Listen, I like the quiche idea because it's heavy.
Yeah.
Right. And it can be well done. But also it's like quiche is a silly word.
And it's got like overcooked tomatoes in it. Like,
right.
You read it off the menu. Whatever it is, you read off the menu, you're like, that sounds so good. And you get it.
That sounds a lot better than
and it's just like,
this. Right.
I can go with a quiche, like a bad
I think
quiche.
that's where we're at. Yeah. I wish I liked it.
I wanted to
I'm
like
so
it.
mad. I did too. I was like, you have no idea how much I was trying to come into this, and I was like, I need to be very clear about my criticisms because I know people like this a lot.
Apparently they don't.
Yeah, apparently
we were wrong. Nobody likes this movie. Screw Back to the Future.
Us included. Whoa, no. Back to the Future.
Screw the Back to the Future franchise. Screw the whole thing.
I won't lie to you, this one did pull down the first one for me, which I'm kind of pissed about. But it was still super good.
The first one can stand alone is the thing.
It can. I was kind of surprised it didn't, honestly.
But there was a sequel? Well,
yeah.
You know, I don't know. I think they were surprised there was a sequel too. It took like 4 years.
And then boom, we're going back, Marty.
And then, because even with the like ending, they could have just left it. Like, oh, there's something wrong with your kids. You know, where we're going, we don't need roads. Like, that's a great ending.
Right.
Like it tells you the story continues. But, you know, and this one has a very clear cliffhanger because they'd already made the next movie. Yeah. It came out 6 months later. Which, like, I would love that, man. Right. Like, if at the end of Infinity War, they were like, okay, Infinity War 2 comes out in 3 months. I'd be like,
I think it's going to be like 8 months or something.
Is it?
Right? I have no idea.
No, it's a whole year. Yeah, it's May 3rd, 2019. It's 364 days.
Dang. What are we going to do?
I don't know.
Bacon and Eggs in the meantime will be doing things like Harry Potter and Star Wars and whatever else.
Yep. Yepity yep. I do like Star Wars. Star Wars is cool.
Ready Player One.
Yeah. I still think that's going to be 2 movies.
You don't think it ends?
No, I mean, I think that it'll get halfway through the book.
I've heard no announcement for multiple
I literally think that they're going to get halfway through the book and then it'll just be like not over. Who knows? Who knows? We'll know soon in like 2 months, 3 months.
Very excited.
Anyway.
I'm excited about everything in 2018. I'm excited about Black Panther, Ready Player One, Avengers. I'm sure there's a bunch of Solo.
4-hour cut of Black Panther right now.
I am not excited about that news.
It's not going to be 4 hours.
I don't mind watching a
4-hour
movie, I know, and it won't be a 4-hour movie, but I think when they cut it out, like I think the story is going to be too long.
No, I don't. That's a pretty common thing. Yeah, for the first cut of a movie to be like hella long, especially like a longer movie, because it's probably going to end up being a 2.5-hour movie. So
True. Like this podcast starts out at 2 hours.
Right, like that's not uncommon at all.
Right.
There are scenes you just don't need, and
well, maybe we'll get a director's cut.
And it's like this is a common thing. I don't know why they chose to announce it for Black Panther, because like I looked this up. It's like that's a pretty common thing for the first cut to be like hours longer. But I don't know.
I've seen all the deleted scenes for all the prequel Star Wars movies. So weird. Yeah. I just did that one day.
I'm sure some are terrible.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, anytime I see Hayden Christensen now, all I can think of is how much he hates sand.
That could have been a great
I look at him, just like, man, you really don't like sand, bro.
I wonder if he likes to go to the beach.
Probably not. Anyway, let's go ahead and wrap this jank up. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening to another episode of Bacon and Eggs, where we covered Back to the Future Part 2, the most disappointing sequel we reviewed so far.
Yeah, what in the world?
Yeah, it was, no, actually, it's not the most disappointing sequel we reviewed so far. That was Iron Man 2.
Or Thor the Dark World.
Yep.
But either way, very disappointing sequel.
The third most disappointing sequel we reviewed so far on Bacon and Eggs.
As always, we are Tyler Carlin and Ethan Edgel. You can find us on Twitter and Instagram. I'm at Amira Carlin on Twitter and Instagram. Ethan is at Wow Now. The O's are zeros. Or you can find the whole podcast on Twitter at Bacon and Eggs 23. Or if you really just want to talk to us and be like, hey, you're wrong about Back to the Future 2, please make your case in the Bacon and Eggs fans Facebook group. Link in the
You want to do that privately, you can shoot us an email at baconandeggsmedia@gmail.com. And also, as of now, our episodes are on YouTube.
Yeah, so if you want to go on the YouTubes, if that's how you like to get your media, we have made that available as well. We're catching up. We don't have all of them up just yet because it takes a while.
Yeah, it's an arduous process, turns out.
But we'll get.
There's a whole lot of things that I have to do to get the episodes on YouTube to take a very long time and absolutely no active participation whatsoever.
Yeah, you just have to like click.
Making the video takes 30 seconds.
Right. But we thank you guys so much for listening. If you do want to support the show, you can always go to patreon.com/baconandeggs and become a patron or find some other way to support us.
Yeah, we got a lot of great we got a lot of great reward levels over there, and also, I mean, you know, if you can just throw us $1, that'd be great. Be very helpful. We love all of you.
Difference.
And we love to keep doing this for you, and so we'd love to keep doing this for you.
And $1 a month only comes out to $12 a year for you, which is a huge difference for us, and maybe a drop in the bucket for you. So who knows? Maybe you can help us out.
I think that's all I got.
What else? Our artwork is done by Vashaun Brandon. You can get his contact info from us, and I think that is everything.
All our credits. Our roll credits.
Yep.
Yep. Until next week, guys, when we talk about Back to the Future Part 3, I've been Ethan Edgel, he's been Tyler Carlin, and arrivederci.
Did you know a fish rots from the head down?